And yeah, GSC doesn't run with a rogue. That is one comp difference that, it seems like every team in this tournament plays with a rogue. And there's a reason for that, because they can contain the FC, and it's going to be much easier for Sporedruid on Beantown Bullies to get out of the base. But what it means is that their mid pressure is going to be much higher, because they won't have a rogue, and that Mage, if he's able to free cast, able to pump out those polymorphs, he can get a lot of control in the enemy team, and that can be quite scary for Beantown Bullies.
Yeah, and we'll see if Tillium does open mid, or if he chooses to play Ghost or play defense. And either way, I think he may be looking for this FC, yeah.
Yeah, right now, I want to just look at the Mage in this opening team fight and see
what he gets the sap. That's nice.
Oh, who did the rogue sap?
Re-sap in the open.
Oh. Yeah, but right now, this looks like all this does is delay Status Quo from picking up the flag. This doesn't really do much. It can't really score a kill here, but that was a really good play by the rogue. I don't want to downplay what they did, but Status Quo is just going to get a restealth. It just delays the pickup.
They are targeting that Affliction Warlock right at the start, and looks like they're trying to spread damage onto Team GSC with those dots.
And one of the things you might notice that's unique about Beantown Bullies is they always play in mid in the same
big silence
position.
on the healers.
Yeah, big silence on the healers. Cyberbully took the silence, and all the healers are stacked right now. And they're actually going to get a kill early onto Etcho, the Hüntër. So all the healers are stacked. I think they took a silence.
Oh, no. It looks like they lost their warrior and their Affliction Warlock. And, yeah, that's the thing. Sporedruid knows now he can pick. There's no rogue. He's not too worried. He knows that Unwaxed is in the fight, and up until a few seconds ago, Boomie was well. So he knows he can get out.
Yeah, but the only problem is he has no team to get out too. Right now he has to 1v1 this Hüntër. Actually, the rogue is going to contest this Hüntër right now. Tillium doing some damage. Tillium's actually going to go down. Wait, Tillium got a re-stealth to the Shaman mode. So excellent job by Tillium avoiding death from this Hüntër. And right now the rogue is the only person on BTB right now that can even escort their FC. So Sporedruid is not really in a good position. He's kind of stuck in the enemy team's base right now. And until his team can get over to him, he's going to have a really tough time crossing.
Yeah, and it looks like GSC is going to move up and start contending outside their graveyard. And this is a good time, too, with 2 people dead.
Yeah, and right now Staticquo is
Docleap.
Yeah, Staticquo is pushing in with his team. He doesn't want to get rogued right now. He wants to stay close to his team just so in case the rogue does open up on him, he can easily receive some quick heals from his partners.
And I like this out of Docleap. He is casting fears onto the front line of GSC.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing is fear does have a low threshold for damage. It does break quite easily, so those fears might be kind of effective, but
just go down.
Yeah, they're just going to delay the inevitable. The melee will connect to a target at some point when they're on fear DR, and even the fear might break early. So even though those fears are, good for delaying damage momentarily, they don't prevent a kill.
Tillium is just waiting in mid, waiting for when Staticquo does push back, and we'll see if GSC sends people with them.
Yeah, and it's interesting because sometimes rogues, in my opinion, might be able to contribute more to the mid fight, but unfortunately for Tillium right now, he's kind of forced to stay in this position. He doesn't want to push into this mid fight because his team is getting cleaved. I mean, multiple members of BTB are dying, and so if Tillium were to try to push up and heal, or to do damage, I'm sorry, and try to get some kills on his team, chances are, because they are getting pushed into their graveyard, that Tillium won't actually contribute much. So I like this positioning from him right now, just making sure that in case there is a kill in the FC, that Status Quo won't be easily able to get into the base.
It looks like they are moving up back as a team to maybe cut off Sporedruid, who's sitting on top of their tunnel. And that's the thing, if the GSC does have someone die, he's going to res and go right onto Sporedruid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But one of the things I'm kind of curious about is without a rogue, it's very difficult for GSC to get any sort of offensive pressure on the enemy FC because the FC will just be kiting around. They'll have no rogue to sap him and get him out of position. So I'm curious to see how they're going to handle this situation without a rogue. I mean, they really have to push in on it as a team to try to get a kill on Sporedruid.
Yeah, and Beantown does lose their warrior again.
And Sporedruid right now is trying to cross, and he is getting picked off by that Hüntër. And and the Mage, and he
Yeah,
might
he's going to die. Yeah. Trillium does get the repick with the evasion, but his team is not in position to keep him up. Etcho with another pick. Wow, the clicks are definitely going in their way, but Prîêst, aka their warrior of GSC, gets the click, and that looks like it's going to be a cap.
And I think Sporedruidx took a risk there that wasn't necessarily needed. It might have been a better. He might have been able to cross at a better time because, as you can see right now, 6 stacks just had hit. So he did decide to cross when there were 5 stacks, but that was kind of risky. I think he should have tried to cross a bit earlier, just because getting across the field when there are 5 stacks, you run the risk of that 6 stack hitting in the middle of the field, and you can't do that as an FC. And so, you know, crossing there he needed to cross at some point, and I think he should have done it earlier.
Looks like Beantown is going to jump down, even with Cype dead, and they may be looking to push out of their graveyard. Their Boomkin is just standing in the back. Now he jumps down. So.
And yeah, I think Beantown Bullies should try to stabilize right now because they are getting pushed into their graveyard. And once again, that GSC, the team of GSC is running without a rogue, so they have an additional body in mid that can pump out polymorphs and arcane blasts and
we'll see
do a
if
lot of damage.
Beantown reacts to this FC running behind them or not. It looks like the Moonkin for GSC is going to get out.
Yeah, so right now the Moonkin is holding the flag on top of tunnel, and Staticquo is going to do some jumps, some fancy footwork to try to get up there, but he is going to be sapped by Tillium. This is a really dangerous position to get sapped in because he can't Displacer. If he Displacer is going to go into that wall, so Staticquo is sapped right now. And let's see if Tillium can get anything going. I think Trillium's actually pulling back, and he's trying to go around to meet with that Boomkin. And unfortunately, the Druid is going to be in barefoot. Let's see if he gets it.
He gets the return.
He got the return. Excellent play by Tillium. That was amazing. Beautiful play. Beantown Bullies is going to deny this flag pass, and let's see if they can capitalize on that. I don't think Sporedruidx has picked. Sporedruidx is just now.
He just picked up, but he was running in stealth. And again, when there's no rogue and both hunters are accounted for in mid, there's not really a reason to be in stealth.
Yeah, so a bit of a mistake by Sporedruidx, not getting across the map quick enough, but that was just a beautiful play by Tillium, and I'd love to see Beantown Bullies capitalize on that MVP move that he just pulled off.
Yeah, and stopping the FC from getting the flag is huge. They are going to repick and get back into their group, but I mean, it could have went either way. If he did that while they had the flag on the other side of the field, it would have been a different game. But I don't think they would have took that risk.
Yeah, and right now we have a deja vu situation. We have Beantown Bullies being pushed into their graveyard. Sporedruidx is just going to hold the flag on top of tunnel, and he knows that he can't really cross easily right now, especially with these 2 hunters. Going across mid, they're going to try to cut Sporedruidx off from crossing the flag. And actually, Etcho is going to try to contest these hunters in a 2v1 situation. Not ideal, and he is going to go down for that.
Yeah, and Beantown just needs to sit and wait for the reses and not jump off.
Yeah, it can be quite difficult with these individual res timers to sort of coordinate when you're all going to res, because when there's individual res timers, you don't res as a group. And because of that, you need to really coordinate your team to all res at the same time, or at least avoid dying when you're waiting for other people to res. So I think right now they need to manage their res timers a bit better before making any sort of offensive play to try to get out of the graveyard.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I think Beantown should be looking for, because they are losing mid so bad, is having that rogue maybe playing some defense, having the rogue sit D with a hunter. You're already losing mid really, really badly, and it's not going to really hurt you too much if you're already getting farmed.
And right now, Sporedruidx is stealthed on the roof. And once again, I'm not sure if I agree with this decision. He could be out of stealth, but I don't really know where the position of the hunters is for GSC. Actually, both hunters are in the team fight, so right now Sporedruidx could pick up the flag, maybe not cross, but he'd definitely be picking up the flag right now. And this, what Beantown Bullies really needs to do is, get it together and start to try to push out of this graveyard as a team, because if they don't, Sporedruidx is never going to cap the flag.
Looks like Tillium does have Berserking, and he's looking to maybe, if he gets an opening, to open, but I think that's not a good call. He should wait for more stacks.
Yeah, 40% increased damage, 4 stacks is not nearly enough to solo an FC as a rogue, especially when his team is there. And unfortunately, Beantown Bullies is Alliance. I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, But what that means is Trillium doesn't have Blood Elf Silence, and having that Blood Elf Silence can allow you to solo the FC. And right now, what GSC is doing is they're pushing across the field as a team, and
they're not waiting for stacks. That's big.
Yeah, they're really going to get to contest Sporedruidx from crossing, and the 6 stacks are about to hit, so it's going to be very difficult for Sporedruidx to get across the map, and very difficult for Beantown Bullies to meet him somewhere in mid, because they have been getting absolutely crushed.
Unwaxed is opening on him, and he does blow his Displacer, and Cyberbully is going to maybe make it to him. It's going to be close. He does get some heals off. Oh, he dropped very, very low. And there's the silence.
Yeah,
Sporedruidx is going to die.
Oh, great.
Cyberbully does get the click.
I don't think he's going to live.
It's only a matter of time before he dies. Yeah, I believe that's going to be another cap.
Really excellent play by Unwaxed, playing offensively against this FC out of Beantown Bullies. He saw an opportunity to score a solo kill, and he capitalized on that. He got a really early scope proc and was able to kill the FC and then kill Cyberbully when he re-picked up the flag.
And again, it's the same situation. Beantown is being forced back into their graveyard, and they can't create any momentum on offense. And it's hard when you're facing a team as strong as GSC with their coordinated burst.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Trillium is going to die, and what Beantown Bullies needs to do right now is just prevent the enemy FC from getting out of the base. And so I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. There are 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on this game, and it's going to be very difficult for Beantown Bullies to come back this. This is looking like a GSC win, but I'm not going to say that guaranteed a GSC win. But right now, they definitely have a huge advantage. And what Beantown Bullies needs to do is just play D with that rogue, or with that rogue hunter, just preventing Staticquo from getting out of their base. Because if he gets to his team, they haven't been able to contest him behind his team yet, and chances are they won't be able to do it, at this later stage of the game.
And the front line just pushed into the healers of Beantown, killed Cannabis. And it looks like he's trying to get a body res. Did they take his body? Yes, they did. He just went back to GY.
And Staticquo is crossing right now. He is being chased by Trillium and the Affliction Warlock and the Hunter, and they might actually be able to get a kill on Staticquo. He's really far away from his team. If this rogue
he has no support. There's the aim shot. He needs to cut back into his team, I believe. He's just taking damage constantly. He's afraid of this Warlock, though, and I wouldn't blame him.
And he's going to connect with BM right there.
Mistweaver.
Yeah.
And it looks like, GSC was getting killed in mid, and this is the first bit of offense we've seen from Beantown for almost the entire game. But I believe that's just from sheer pulling back, going for the win.
Yeah, Beantown definitely had an opportunity right there, though.
Gets silenced, and he does pop Battle Masters. We'll see what else happens. He may just drop here. Yeah, he's going to die with that silence. Nord wins.
3-cap game by GSC. Now, Beantown Bullies had an opportunity to kill the FC at the end,